Get ready for sports news and entertainment. All right here, your 7 minutes with Simmons starts right now.
Florida lays a beating on the Edmonton Oilers. They find a way back into the driver's seat. It's 2-1. How do we get here? We're going to break it down. We got a special guest. We got a fantastic community cause here in Niagara Falls and a bunch of other stuff to break down. Episode number, is it 18 already? Wow. Already at 18. Cannot believe that. Today we're talking hockey, but first, a quick spotlight deserves to be placed on the community and one group in particular. Congratulations to the Birchway Niagara for their fundraising efforts this past weekend, raising over $190,000 in support of abuse survivors. Fantastic job they had this past weekend, fundraising for just a fantastic cause. And what a fantastic event that must have been over the past weekend. I didn't get a chance to get out there. If you didn't, be sure to head to birchway.ca to learn more. I know I will for sure moving forward. A fantastic cause, always in the community looking to support. They have a fantastic mission. If you are just looking to get involved, or if you are personally affected by abuse somewhere here in the southern region of Ontario or elsewhere in Canada, please be sure to give them a look. But let's get into this one. Two hosts this time, a special guest, Preston Sibley, Sib P55 on socials. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you, Christian. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. I could be doing better. If Edmonton won last night, I think I could be doing a whole lot better. I just really want a Canadian team to win.
I think we all really want that. Tired of these Panthers, and they blew through every freaking team.
It's ridiculous how consistent they've been. And they keep finding a way to get back to their game. And you saw it again last night in Game 3. They're a dirty, dirty team. And we'll get into that later in the episode. But first, I want to break down some of the things I saw in this one. You know, obviously, we want to talk about Florida finding a way to put up that huge margin early in this one. I mean, a great response for Edmonton after going down by 3. It was a 4-1. It was 4-1 about midway through that second period, and I thought Edmonton's response was great. But, you know, McDavid was flying, so was Draisaitl. But I'm impressed with the way the Panthers prepared for McDavid. They came out, put up a few goals, and then you know what they did? They packed it in. They held that blue line. Forsling, Jones, the guys on the back end that needed to really get it done, they did a fantastic job of limiting those opportunities for the big boys in the blue and orange to really start putting it up there. I mean, some other things to talk about here. You got Evan Bouchard continues his playoff success. He eclipses the 17-point mark for the second consecutive playoffs. Like, this guy's going to get paid, man. Paid with a capital P with 2 digits, 8 digits, 2 in front of the following 6 zeros. This guy's going to make a absolute bank this summer. I'm thinking 10 mil plus. Evan Bouchard could be sitting as one of the highest paid defensemen in the league following his UFA status this summer. Just what a performance he's had. But beyond that, not a lot of great things to take away from Edmonton's performance last night. Florida was tough, man. They were tough. They were hard on the big boys. Draisaitl and McDavid both getting bailed out consistently. Sam Bennett. You got Gustav Forsling, Aaron Ekblad, you know, all the usual suspects just clogging it up and laying the body. And Skinner wasn't the best. Could have had a better game. Wasn't really picking up the puck in the ways that we're used to seeing him do so. I thought there was a lot of redirects, a lot of in-tight plays that he probably could have managed better. And, of course, the puck ends up in the back of the net. But we're going to talk physicality here. Preston, we're going to drag you in. I thought the Oilers showed some emotion for the first time in the series last night. Let's talk about just what happened there at the end of that one.
I mean, yeah. Like you were saying, though, I can't believe how dominant the Panthers they were throughout the entire game. But as for fighting in hockey, can you believe how many fights there are? And how is this allowed? It's not a fighting sport.
It's hockey. It's hacky. You say that like an American. It's hacky.
Oh, no, don't call me
No,
one.
no fight. But you know what?
I don't understand how the refs in the league allow it, or how they allow it, but then can keep the player's safety still kind of controlled.
Well, I think it's a big part of the playoffs. The atmosphere that they're trying to build. I think it's important to allow those players to blow off that steam, to allow the animosity to build. It's important for the level of hockey that they're trying to reach, the level of competitiveness that they're trying to attain in a playoff round. They're looking for that kind of highly competitive hockey. That's how you do it. You let the boys drop the mitts and throw haymakers at one another because it really creates that entertaining hockey. You know what I mean?
So do fights like this add to the excitement of a game, or does it kind of like detach it from the sport?
I think it does 100% add to the entertainment of the game. I think it's crucial. It's a big part of what both of those teams are looking to show. It's a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. You know, that's what playoff hockey is all about, and I thought both teams responded very, very well. But I think Florida kept dragging these guys into the kind of spots that they're comfortable in. Like, Florida isn't shying away from the scraps. They're not. They led the NHL in penalty minutes all season long, and they did it again in the playoffs.
I mean, I think there was a total of like 140 penalty minutes in last night's game.
Yeah, that's Florida's domain. That's where they belong. It's where they find success. It's where they found success in all three previous rounds of this playoffs. It's where they found success in the regular season. They live for that kind of play. Look at their roster. You got Brad Marchand. You got Matthew Tkachuk. Those guys feed off that kind of hockey.
Yeah. And I mean, when they're up 6-1, they can put their good players on the penalty bench and send in their bench and just start beating up whoever they want at that time.
That's exactly right. And Edmonton just doesn't have the same guys. You know, Wallman on the back end for Edmonton, like, play hockey, buddy. Like, there was so many times I'm watching this guy last night. There was one sequence where he's giving the Florida bench a shower with a water bottle. And then later, I think it was the end of the second period, he's pulling on Marshy's bucket, like the actual strap. Like, play hockey, Wallman. Play hockey, not Florida hockey, play Oilers hockey, and that's what Edmonton needs to do to get back into this series. That's going to do it. 7 minutes with Simmons and Sibley. I guess you should say thank you, Preston, for joining the podcast today. We'll have him back out for another one. If you have a chance, check out some of Preston's stuff. SibP55 on all platforms, on YouTube and on Instagram. A very talented photographer, videographer, and on-camera talent. This guy does it all. A jack of all trades and master of all of them. There you go. How about that? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was 7 Minutes with Simmons. Peace.